Welcome back to the channel. We're Fandom Fix. I'm Austin, and that's Roman. And today we're going to be reacting to the Reacher Season 3 trailer. Now, this show has been a real treat for those who are fans of this book series, and Alan Richardson plays this character super well. So, Roman, let's jump in and see what this trailer has to offer.
I've never been so jealous of a fork in my life. You have any thoughts on dessert?
Mr. Reacher, we're looking into the owner of a rug import business called Bazaar Bazaar.
Let me guess. DEA thinks he's in business with bad people.
You know him?
I thought I killed him years ago.
What did he do to you?
He didn't do anything to me.
Shoot.
Maybe we can help each other out. I have a plan.
Love this song.
Undercover informant. Mr. Reacher, your record is impressive. Bench press proves nothing. Elbow on the pad. Reacher and I fought. Sorry, hand slipped. Welcome to the team, Reacher. I'm in. Tonight's your chance to prove you've earned your keep, Reacher. Exactly how much danger is this job putting me in?
Gotta get out of
It's
there.
always
How much
danger.
time do I have?
I don't know. Who are you up against, Reacher?
Long story.
How often do you do this?
Every so often.
I figured out why you do what you do. Because you hate the big, the powerful, who think they can get away with things. So you make sure they don't.
You just figured that out? Son of a...
Dang, that looks good. I'm excited. Somebody's finally bigger than Reacher, Roman.
Absolutely, and I was thinking about that. You know, that they were describing the actor's name escapes me right now, but they were describing him being in the new season, and Richardson was describing how big he was. I think he's like 7'1" or something like that. And I thought, if Alan Richardson is describing you as big, you're big. And you know, part of the reason why people liked Alan Richardson's casting is because it was a more book accurate physical appearance to the book Reacher. But Alan Richardson isn't even as big as the Reacher in the book. The Reacher in the book, I believe, is like 6'6".
Yeah.
And Richardson's like 6'3". He's still huge.
Which is so funny because of the Jack Reacher movies with Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise was nothing compared to him.
And I think if you watch the show, they shoot Richardson from below a lot to make him look even bigger than he is. And I think that's because he's not even as big as the Reacher of the books. But this third season is based on the 7th book in the Lee Child series titled The Persuader. The second season was based on the 11th book titled Bad Luck and Trouble. So they are going a little bit out of order. The first season was based off the first book, but because all of these books are independent, they can really go in whatever order they want.
Sure.
So this is based on the 7th book in the series, and thank goodness for Lee Child, who literally churns out a new Jack Reacher book every year, pretty much on the dot. It's like, I think it's every October he's got a new book. There's like 28 in the series now. Yeah. And so we could have Reacher for a long time. But I noticed in this, first of all, it looks awesome, that there was a lot. I thought I saw Anthony Michael Hall in there. Mm-hmm. And I saw Brian T as the bad guy at the end, and as a big fan of the Chicago TV shows that I am, like Chicago PD and Chicago Med. Yeah. If there are any fans of those shows out there, Brian T was a part of that for a long time. So it was good to see him. Excited to see what he brings to this. Obviously, the antagonist is huge, so it's going to create a physical match for Reacher that we haven't seen in the previous 2 seasons. But it looks really good. Really excited. And what are your thoughts on it, Austin?
Yeah, something tells me, honestly, based on how these shows go, you know, there's always this big elite antagonist that he's going after. I mean, even Neely's comment to him in that he's like, I get why you do what you do, because you hate the elites who think they can do whatever they want. And it's just a funny comment because, like, that's literally Reacher's persona. He's a guy that's literally a nomad and literally goes around and just takes care of people. He doesn't care about himself. He doesn't care about where he's staying, anything like that. He's helping people. And that's what I love about this show. It's just, like you said, it could go on for a very long time. I do think this big guy that he's up against probably will end up turning to his side against whoever these bad guys are. So I'm really interested to see that dynamic there. It's definitely a different dynamic, a different foil for Reacher after kind of that more personal aspect of the first 2 seasons. My biggest question here, because they're not in the books, but people love them so much, do you think Roscoe and Finley from the first season will show up in these future seasons? Because they're only in that first book. They're not in the consecutive books.
Right. Well, they've already shown that they're not afraid to deviate from that, because we saw Finley in season 2. And like you mentioned, Finley and Roscoe have yet to show up again in the rest of the books. And actually, Neely was introduced at the start of the series. He was introduced in season 1, does not show up until later in the books.
Yeah.
So they've already shown that they're willing to deviate character-wise from some of the books. So it's my hope that we do see Roscoe and Finley again, because Finley's inclusion in season 2 was a really welcome surprise. Yeah. And you could see like the impact that Reacher has had on him since the events of the first season. Like he seemed different. And so it would be really interesting to see Roscoe and Finley again. It was alluded to the fact that Roscoe may run for mayor of Margrave. So I don't know if he'd have to go back to Margrave for her to come in again. I don't know, but I would hope that we would see Roscoe and Finley again for sure.
Well, we're definitely getting deviations. I mean, Neely is confirmed to get her own spinoff series, and so they're probably going to try to milk this. I mean, the Amazon Prime has been doing really well with their shows. I mean, not only Reacher, but also Terminal List, and that's also getting the spinoffs. So I think this is going to be a fun season. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens next.
Absolutely. And I know a lot of people didn't like season 2 as much because they didn't like the group dynamic as much as him being, which is him being a loner, because he's a loner in the books. But I'm with you. I loved the team dynamic. Now, obviously, it seems like he is going to be on his own again. But like much like the previous 2 seasons, it looks like he's going to have Neely's help at some point. Yeah. So it's like I love the team dynamic, even if it's just for a season. But and so I understand why people were like, hey, we wanted to be solo. But I liked season 2 better than I think a lot of people did.
Reacher is such a personal guy, even though he kind of has that stoic persona that you see even in this one. Like, he has a connection to the villain because they killed somebody who was close to him. You saw that scene where somebody was hanging and he brought her down. So, he has these connections. It's always somebody from the past that hurt somebody he loves or hurt him, and he always goes after him and kicks the crap out of him. So. And
it looks like he's going to have another love interest, which makes 3 and 3 seasons. And I know that was another criticism of the show, but that's the character as written in the books.
He's James Bond, basically.
Yeah, he's an American James Bond that kicks a lot more butt.
Yeah.
So I have no problem with that. It's character accurate, because in these type of things, that's what I want them to strive for, is to keep true to the author's vision. Sure. And so if that's what he wrote, that's what needs to be on screen. But I'm really excited for season 3. Cannot wait.
Same. Well, we'd love to know what you think out there. Are you excited for season 3? Have you liked this show so far? Let us know what your theories are, your complaints, your likes. We'd love to know. So like this video, subscribe to our channel, and make sure you hit that notification bell so you don't miss a video that we put out. But until next time, we're Fandom Fix. See you.